Oh hey, didn't see you there. Snuck up on me. I'm Marketing Director Stephen Musngi. And I'm just catching up on a little light reading. We have the Gospel of Selfless Action by Mohandas Gandhi. We have, what else we have here? We have the People Skills of Jesus, Ancient Wisdom for the Modern Business. We have As Man Thinketh by Mr. James Allen. And one of my favorites, It's Not How Good You Are, It's How Good You Want to Be, written by Paul Arden. Mr. Arden is a creative genius who started Saatachi Saatachi, an advertising firm in London, and went on to create some of Britain's most successful advertising campaigns. So in this book, he says the person who doesn't make mistakes isn't likely to make anything. In fact, he said in the book, you may have noticed the spelling in the headline is incorrect. And this was not an intentional idea. It was a typing error and just so happened to be on that page. So when we confront a new situation, there's no way to guarantee success. More than likely mistakes will be made, but what can you do to make smarter mistakes and ensure you are closer to success? Here's 3 things to keep in mind. Number 1, reduce the cost of failure. So this means choosing a direction that allows a mistake to have minimal costs. That way your budget, whether it's financial, time, or otherwise, can last longer. In order to reduce that cost of failure, you need to do some testing on a smaller scale. A Fat Atom, one way we reduce the cost of failure in online advertising is to set up a reasonable budget for a few months so that we can gather enough data to test and determine what tactics are appropriate for our clients. What may work for one industry or company may not always work for another. Online advertising is not set it and forget it. It requires constant testing, measuring, and revising. Doing this allows us to know how much and where to spend our clients' budget in order to increase their conversions and improve the quality of their leads. Number 2, document as much as you can from each failed attempt. It's important to document your assumptions and take steps to validate them along the way. You can't expect to succeed if you don't take the time to learn from your mistakes. Number 3, make deliberate mistakes to test your assumptions. Our feelings of what makes sense and what doesn't are shaped by our assumptions. Most of our assumptions are useful. For example, expecting me to get electrocuted if I stick my finger in a light socket is a useful assumption. But some of our assumptions aren't valid or don't hold to be true over time. That's why it's important to test and make deliberate mistakes from time to time. Testing different media channels for your target audience is a great example in advertising and marketing. So those are the 3 things to keep in mind when making smarter mistakes. And since we're talking about mistakes, I like to bring up a mistake that has been made here at Fat Atom, and it has been bothering me. And we don't make many mistakes here. What's that mistake, you ask? Well, we have a yearly company award ceremony called the Fatties. And this year, I was mistakenly given the runner-up for Best Looking Employee Award for the 2nd year in a row by Mr. Kevin Muffley. Who won, you ask? This guy, Derek. Now, Derek is a fairly attractive guy. I mean, if you're into, whatever, tall, lanky, blonde guys. But to make sure we don't make the same mistake again next year, Kevin, I have 3 solid reasons why I should win the Best Looking Employee Fatty Award next year. Number 1, hand model. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Number 2, play it, Rob. And number 3, what do we have here? Oh, what? It's Kevin's favorite meal? Cottage cheese, ketchup, and sausage? Let's go ahead and just get in there. What the? Son of a... This is terrible. What the is this shit? Oh, God, how can someone... It's the worst mixture ever. Jeez. So remember, Kevin and everyone out there, we all make mistakes, and don't be afraid to make them. Just make sure you make smart mistakes so you can improve your chances for success.